Gotta get back to reviewing some real books or something. God.
Soulcatcher is Frank Herbert's only non-science fiction novel published, and easily his second best. In the biography Dreamer of Dune, Brian Herbert recounts how this was his father's favorite novel and that it was based on his experiences as a young boy tracking in the woods with a Native American. It raises the question of why his parents would let him go wandering off with some strange man, and apparently he thought that too. The story deals with a Native American college student who believes he is vindicating his ancestors by kidnapping a rich white boy of 13 years. He plans to sacrifice him to the gods. However, even though many Indian innocents were slaughtered in the past, the thing that has driven him over the edge is when his sister was raped and murdered by a gang of white kids. Is he really an idealistic crusader striking back at the man, or is he just driving himself further into the wiles of madness? The novel spends a lot of time with the two in nature, learning how to live off the land. The Indian, who has renamed himself Katsuk, has to teach the kid how to track in the woods just so he can keep up. As he teaches him, he also tells him why he's being kidnapped and why he must be sacrificed. They grow to like each other and even depend on one another, and you could say they trust each other. The same way two armies trust each other. One thing that gets me is that the kid talks about how there's no hunger and joblessness in America, and the Indian is quick to correct him. I thought it was strange that even a teenage boy wouldn't know about the very real problems we face, even back in 1972, but then I realized it's a thematic point about just how innocent and sheltered the child has been his whole life. It's really a commentary on America itself, how we're blind to obvious problems in the world. As I said, the book is set in our world and our times, but is still rife with the many themes that Herbert liked to address in his books. There's the misplacement of religion and following leaders blindly, there's a relative look at madness, insanity, and even how language affects thinking. Herbert said he originally wanted to write mainstream novels, but was drawn to science fiction because it had more imaginary elbow room, which is pretty badass in my opinion. It really makes me think what he would have done if he had written more mainstream novels, what he could have accomplished. I make no secret of the fact that I don't really like his other novels. He mostly rehashes themes that were covered well enough in Dune itself, and they just don't grab the imagination the same way. This one is different. It reinvents itself in how it tells a story, recapturing all those themes in a new way that makes you just not let go. The book is fast-paced and suspenseful, action-packed and politically charged. It has a message it wants to get across, but doesn't beat you over the head with it. It might come off as Indian rights propaganda, especially considering its time period. It came out a few years after Little Big Man, and right when Marlon Brando refused his Best Actor Oscar for Indian rights reasons. But I don't think it was, and I think Herbert really wanted to tell this story and fought to have it published. Oh, in the ending. In Dreamer of Dune, Brian Herbert tells of how his father faced a lot of challenges in getting the proper ending to the book published. It was naturally dark and complex, and not the kind of thing that sells well to people. He had huge advances that were given him, and even the film rights if he changed it, but he said no. Why? Because he's a true artist who wouldn't sell out to the man. What do I think of it? Well, it's got balls and really completes the story. Maybe the other one could have worked, but this one made it a masterpiece.